Hey, it's Brian Mertens, and today in this video, I want to give you an insider's look at something that could be the most power-packed sequence of routines that you will ever learn for transforming your relationship with nature by applying easy methods that really anyone can do. And because of my work as a teacher and mentor of nature-based awareness skills, I talk to a lot of people who are very passionate about building a meaningful relationship with nature and learning about the plants and the trees and the tracks and what it means when you see a bird chasing another bird out of its territory. I've had the opportunity to spend time with some really great naturalists and trackers and educators, and I've also been able to observe people who really haven't had the kind of success that they want on their journey into the wild areas of life. And one of the things that I've really learned is that when it comes to building your natural skills, whether you want to be a deeply tuned in tracker with a talent for reading the landscape, or having knowledge of your local plants and gathering things from nature that benefit your life, the most important thing is that it's not about the place where you live or how much knowledge you have starting out. And the thing that really makes the difference is what kind of routines are you doing on an ongoing basis. And I've learned that it's actually pretty easy to predict how far a naturalist will grow over the course of a year, both in knowledge and skills, by virtue of looking at what are you actually doing on a daily or weekly basis to move yourself forward, even just by taking very small steps forward in the right direction. So what I want to give you today are some of the really critical essentials that you can start to apply regardless of your current living situation or how much free time you have to get outside and practice. And I want you to come and take a walk with me as I go through my own personal daily routine, where I'm going to show you just how easy it is to tap the immense potential for everyone, including you, to access a more primal state of awareness where natural discovery and being tuned with your surroundings is a normal, everyday part of your experience that brings to you a new source of clarity and excitement and creativity. We're going to start off in the mindset of a total modern beginner who's never even stepped foot in a forest, moving around like a big disturbance in the landscape. We're going to slow everything down in our mind and our body to the same pace of nature. We're going to end up in an expanded state of awareness where really great things are possible. There's just 5 steps in this practical sequence of routines, and when we're done here, you're going to feel really confident about how to do it. So I've learned a few things in my days about how to design nature study routines that enable you to get the maximum amount of benefit from every single moment that you spend outside. And one of the big lessons that comes home to me over and over again is just how much your level of awareness in the field will either make or break your outdoor experience. You can actually get more benefit and learning and discovery from as little as 10 minutes of high quality awareness in nature than you would from an entire day of walking around not paying attention. So what I want to offer you is that sometimes it's the little things that have the biggest impact. And here we are, we're at my front door, we haven't even gone outside yet. But this is a key moment in the design of our daily naturalist routines, because even before you walk through this door, we need to already be thinking about transitioning from your usual indoor awareness lacking mindset into something much more sensitive and receptive to what's happening in your surroundings. So what you can actually do even before going outside is take a moment to stop and slow down the rhythms of your body, like walking and breathing. You can actually start the process of shifting into a more present state of mind by peeking through the front window to see if there's any birds or wildlife out there. And when you finally do open the door, you do it very slowly and consciously in order to avoid causing a big disturbance. Now, this all takes place in less than 30 seconds. It doesn't have to be a huge thing, but it is very important. You want to set it up so that every time you walk through this front door, it's like a trigger for your awareness that says you are now leaving the indoor world of artificial technology and you are entering the world of nature. So switch on your awareness. Now, when we actually get through this front door, we're on the porch, and we have another opportunity to stop and tune in another level deeper. So we're not just gonna barrel off the front porch and start moving blindly into the landscape. Remember, our goal is to slow down and be present with what's happening around us. So what I will actually do at this point is to stop again and consciously check in with my surroundings. Check in with the trees and the weather and the birds, and just spend a couple minutes dropping into the deepest level of awareness that you possibly can. And I usually spend a few moments with my eyes open, but then you can also close your eyes for maybe 30 seconds and listen into all the little sounds happening around you, and you'll feel it. Your body will start relaxing. Your mental state will become more focused and tuned in, like sitting on a lakeside at first light in cottage country. And it's only now that we have evoked this state of heightened awareness that we finally start walking out into the land. But I want you to walk at half or even a quarter of your normal walking pace. We really don't want to try and cover a big long distance, and instead we're going to focus on moving through nature very consciously. So, you take a few steps and then you stop and tune in with your surroundings. Look at what's happening around you. Look at the plants, look at the birds. Use your eyes and ears to observe, and then take a few more steps and you gently meander through the landscape, taking in new sights and sounds all along the way. Now, eventually, what this is all leading towards is I want you to now find a place to sit down on the landscape and really let all your rhythms come to a total halt. And this is what so many naturalists and trackers who I've known over the years very affectionately call the sit spot or the secret spot. And this is where the magic really happened for me in the period of 8 or 9 years that I've been doing this routine so far. My personal sit spot is just a 1-minute walk from my front door, even when I move really slowly. And this is a place where you can just sit down and take a few minutes to hang outside and use this time for a number of different purposes. We're actually going to practice awareness routines and activities from this seated position. So the first thing that you can do is spend a portion of this time just continuing to slow down and awakening your 5 senses by looking around, listening, feeling, sensing more deeply than you've ever done before. So we're just building upon the awareness meditation that started in that first step back at the front door. Now, in addition to focusing consciously on your senses, you can also direct your awareness according to different layers of nature, right? So nature is made up of layers, and it's very common for people to become very focus locked on individual things like plants or birds to the exclusion of other things happening in the landscape. But the reality is that there are so many other layers that interact to create a unique habitat, from the soil beneath you to the water that flows in the creek, the insects, the weather, the seasons, the squirrels moving in the treetops, and all these different elements actually fit together and tell a larger story, right? So you want to make sure that you're spreading your focus in an expanded way through each of these layers and not being focus locked on any one thing, because this will help you start to notice connections that would otherwise go unseen. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because here's what will happen. As you start to stretch your bubble of awareness outwards, you'll also notice that inside, your mind starts to become a lot more quiet. And this is a state of mind where you become much more receptive to having insights about yourself and your personal life and how to achieve your dreams. And, just imagine if there was a way for you to learn directly from nature about how to live a happier and more fulfilling life. What if you could open your mind and allow creative insights to flow and find answers to the biggest challenges and blocks holding you back as a naturalist or mentor, or really any area of your life that you want to improve? Well, that is exactly what will happen. I really believe that this is why so many of the world's visionary leaders throughout the ages have gone into nature to seek answers and ended up with a very unique set of psychological side effects, being able to access profound states of inner peace, having astutely refined perceptions of nature and the inner workings of people. So in the same way that we can expand our focus outwards, what you can do is actually bring some personal questions and reflections to sit with and just say to yourself, I'd love to find some sort of insight about this problem I've been having, and just see what kind of ideas bubble up from the netherworlds of your mind as you sit in this natural place and allow that deepened state of awareness to work on you. So that's the sit spot, and you can just hang out there for 5 or 10 minutes or longer and practice these different awareness and observation exercises. And then whenever you feel ready, you just stand up and walk back inside. And the final step is to have a journal that you can use to record your observations, insights, new discoveries, and experiences. And this is a really great way to reinforce the experience that you just had, and also to make new connections that you didn't necessarily make in the field. So you just take a few minutes to write down, what happened while I was out there? What did I observe? What am I learning here? If there was some keystone learning or insight that I could take away from this experience, what would it be? What do I want to do differently next time? And what kind of follow-up can I do in the future? So we're just wrapping everything together into a neat little bundle. Your journal will become an important way to distill the memories and the learnings that you gain. And it's also a really great way to help you look forward to planning and building anticipation for your next experience. It's a very powerful way to accelerate and reinforce your learning. So that's really how it all goes down, and what I've just shared with you is a totally complete nature study sequence that you can do in a period of 5 or 10 minutes. If that's really all that you have, it's probably going to give you the most benefit in a short time frame compared to any other activity that you might try. You can also stretch it out into hours of time out on the land if you have that much time. But the main thing, as we talked about at the start of this video, is simply to get going with some sort of routine. And I highly recommend that you start small and start easy so you don't get overwhelmed. And then I think you'll find it very easy to move on to the next level once you get this initial habit built in. So if you're watching this video and you want to really now do this and take some solid steps to change your relationship with nature, build your skills as someone who has deep knowledge of the outdoors, I want to invite you to learn about a brand new online course that I've created to walk you through step by step the most important habits that fuel your naturalist potential. And below this video, there will be a link that will take you to an information page where you can go and learn all about what I am calling the Steady Natural Skill Builders course. And if you are excited about getting some good outdoor training and being able to effortlessly build your skills and really improve your relationship to nature from your own home and backyard territory, go ahead and click that link and just have a read through the information. I really want to help you get solidly planted on the path of nature skills mastery and create the kind of ongoing routines that support you in consistently growing your knowledge of local forest ecosystems and pushing your abilities forward as a mentor or student of nature-based skills. So if that's something that is of interest to you, go ahead and click that link, check it out, and if it seems like a good fit for you, then I really hope to see you enrolled in that course. It'd be awesome to have you signed up because I think you're gonna get a lot out of it. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. I really appreciate you giving me your time and attention, and I hope you got a lot of value from this information. That's all I have for now, and I'll talk to you soon.